Welcome to the Oracle TV pop-up studio here at the Mind, Body, Spirit London Wellbeing Festival. We're having the most incredible time, and I've just caught up with the Giser. I'm sorry, my pronunciations on names today has just gone woo, because there's been so many wonderful people that I've met. So Art Giser, we're so happy to meet you and that you've got time to talk to us. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here at the festival, what's appealing to you? Maybe a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a creator of something called Energetic NLP, and it brings together NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which is a more logical-based approach to human change and development, very, very powerful. And I've been a trainer in that field since the mid-'80s. I bring it together with intuition development, healing energy work, transformative energy work, and spiritual principles.
That's really interesting, because there has been a divide, I think, in the past, where there was the spiritual healing, the very psychic, intuitive work. Some people go, oh no, I poo-poo that, and they want to have something very, very logical. But I've felt that sometimes the traditional NLP work was a little bit soulless, because I came from the more spiritual, intuitive side. So it's wonderful that you've built this bridge. Have you found a lot of warmth and reception to that, or was there some resistance to it initially?
Well, I mean, there's always some people that either they don't get it, or it's not interesting, or they think, oh, is it going to be some kind of woo-woo? But overall, I mean, I would say less resistance, and more some people it's just not appealing to them, and other people who are going, finally, and this is exactly what we wanted. And part of what most people don't understand is when you work directly with energy and intuition, like if you're doing a healing or transformative work with somebody, if they have conscious or unconscious beliefs that are blocking it, either the energy will go back the way it was, or it'll never really change. So what I realize is, I can go into more NLP mode if necessary, and really do things to help them become aware of the beliefs, change them. Then when I switch back to the energy mode, all of a sudden huge things can happen. And on the other side, sometimes you're doing something with NLP, but it's not really hitting the full person. It's not recognizing the spiritual nature of the person. And then adding in the energy part to the NLP made it much more incredible. So I try to cherry pick and take the best of both. Yeah,
that is really interesting. So the thing about limiting beliefs is that they're often so hidden that the client isn't aware that they've got them. They're asking for a change in result. Does it take a lot of work to get to these hidden beliefs if people aren't conscious of them?
No, not necessarily, because they don't necessarily have to become conscious of them. In energetic NLP, we help the person tap into their inner wisdom and their spirit. And often their inner wisdom and spirit will identify the beliefs, and we may not even ever need to make them conscious. The only time they need to be conscious is if it's something that they actually consciously believe too, and then they need to make choices. But if it's something that's unconscious and their own inner wisdom goes, get rid of it, then we don't have to analyze it. And people are so trained nowadays, they think they have to analyze it and know exactly what it was.
And that in itself is a limiting belief, isn't it?
It's a huge limiting belief.
If you say to somebody you can clear this really quickly, they'll be like, I don't reckon I can, because it must be really difficult.
Exactly. It has to.
But at the same time, it can be like that, can't it?
I remember years ago I had a client, and we did a really powerful session. She came back in 2 weeks, and she goes, I really enjoyed the session, but I don't see how it could have changed my life. But everything's different.
Just like, go figure.
So I went, well, maybe everybody else went and had a session. And she laughed, But the thing about limiting beliefs, not only are people not aware of them, but some of them they don't recognize as beliefs. It's just like to work hard and struggle. It's like, it doesn't have to be a struggle, or I don't have to consciously analyze it to death. And I used to be I managed a research lab in reproductive endocrinology for a medical school in San Francisco. I have a strong logical part. I love my logical part, but logical parts are limited. And in energetic NLP, we embrace logic, but we seek to go way beyond it.
Yes, absolutely.
Not be limited by it.
I think we can all sometimes fall foul of that kind of thing that says you must work really hard and struggle a little bit just to justify doing what you love, you know. And I've done that myself. And then sometimes I go, you know what? It is allowed to be easy.
Right.
You're meant to do it. It's okay.
And another thing that's funny to me is people will go, well, energy work isn't scientific. And I'll go, first of all, whether science can explain something or not isn't what makes it scientific. Cosmic rays have always been scientific, but nobody could explain them until 100 years ago. They weren't non-scientific before that. Or they'll go, well, I can't believe in invisible energies. And I'll go, well, how about gravity? It affects everything in your life. It's invisible. Scientists still don't understand it. I mean, Einstein said it's a curve in space-time, whatever that means. And yet, gravity affects everything in our lives, so why would they assume there aren't other invisible energies? There's nothing unscientific about it.
I think sometimes we fall foul of people's understanding of terminology because we're really in a growth industry here, aren't we?
We are.
So we find that there's certain buzzwords that get bandied around, like energy, quantum, or all sorts of various things. And people can apply them very liberally. And then someone can come along who maybe studied a very sort of scientific thing to do with that word and might go, no, that's no good because it's inaccurate. But people are searching for a word to describe what it is that they're doing. Do you think that? Yeah, so we get these misunderstandings arising, I think.
Yeah, I used to laugh years ago. I studied with some, I always didn't study with, but I worked with some really powerful Hindu masters at different times. And often when they would talk about science, I'd go, oh, please don't talk about science, because they wouldn't really understand it, and if you were into science, the explanation didn't work. It's like, just don't even go there. Just don't even, save that for somebody who knows a little more about.
And it's okay if you don't know about everything.
Yeah. There are scientists who can explain it.
So when you're working with people, is it on a one-to-one level, or do you work with a large audience, or how do you help people?
I do in-person workshops. I do a lot of tele-workshops and video workshops that are over the internet. And there's a term actually in physics about some energies are non-local, and meaning they're not in one place, they're every place. And the healing energies that I use are non-local, so my normal clients are thousands of miles away from me, and sometimes on the complete opposite side of the planet. And it doesn't make any difference if they're sitting right here or we're over the phone or internet. I mean, it's fun to be in person, but the energy's every bit as powerful. And one of the things I teach people to do, because I do a lot of training programs, is everybody can do remote energy work. It's not this mysterious gift that a few of us special people were born with. Everybody can do it. Every single human, and not everybody wants to or cares, but the people that are intrigued by it, all this energy healing and psychic phenomena stuff, is everybody can do it.
So the only boundaries really are the limitations we put on ourselves.
Right. Well, the limitations we put on ourselves, but the other thing, going back to what NLP didn't include, is in NLP we treat everything as if it's yours. Everything's your conscious or your unconscious, your programming. Well, energy contains information. And if that sounds odd, you can hear me because my mouth is making energy go to your eardrums, and you reinterpret it.
My brain's interpreting it, yes.
Exactly, and people will watch this through, it's being recorded on a video, which is energy. It'll be transmitted through energy. When you read a book, it's the energy of the light that you're reading. So energy contains information. And people absorb energy from other people. They also absorb their emotions and their thoughts. And one of the clues for this is sometimes people go, I've always just felt anxious my entire life, or I felt something my entire life, and I've gone to therapy and stuff, and I've done this and that, and it gets a little better, but I can't get a handle on it. Well, almost always that means it's not your energy. And the reason you can suppress it, you can deal with it, but you can't heal it. But energetically you can get rid of it. And that's a lot of what I do with people. So often people go, I don't know what's wrong with me, or why can't I make a decision?
Why do I feel out of sorts? Why do I feel like I don't belong?
And it's because they've absorbed other people's energy. And you start doing it when you're in your mother's womb. And your whole life, or in our whole lives, we're absorbing energy. And so it's such a revelation to people when you go, I'm not dumb or stupid or broken. that just never was my stuff. And that's why I can't solve it. It's not my problem. And it's just a delight to see people go, oh, all of a sudden it's different, you know.
Oh, wow. So what are you going to do with your trip over here? I mean, are you going to go and travel around a little bit more? Or?
Well, I taught a 2-day workshop last weekend and taught workshops here. And I'm going to spend a couple of days with friends and relax around and then just go back home. But
where is home?
Oh, California.
Okay.
I live part-time Los Angeles, part-time San Francisco.
Yeah, lovely.
And I really like it. But I've been coming here for many years. First, I came here to work with corporations on leadership and team development. Yeah. And now I come here to do this work. And I come about 5 times a year. So sometimes I tourist around. Other times I act like, oh, I'm a local.
Well, I think you are. You know, and if people want to get in touch with you and find out more about you know, training with you, being healed with you, maybe kind of like having your download courses, what can they do? Where do they need to go?
Well,
tell the viewers.
Okay, there's 2 websites you can go to. My website, the easy way to get there is, it's called energeticnlp.com, but you can just do ENLP, the number 7.com. So lucky 7, ENLP, the number 7.com. We'll get my website. My sponsors in the UK are Solar Events, and they're at solar-events.co.uk. And they put on a lot of wonderful programs, some of which are mine. So. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Well, it's a real pleasure, and I so appreciate what you're doing here at the festival.
What do you love, just before you go, what's your favorite bit of the festival here?
Boy, there's been a lot of really good things. I've really enjoyed Kate McKenzie's work. What's Aldo's last name?
Aldo Raffa. Oh, that's right. You had a reading with Aldo Raffa.
He's amazing.
Now, how was your reading? Why don't you tell the viewers? Because we're making some promotional videos for Aldo.
Well, I told it, the slightly annoying thing is I don't know how old he is. I'm guessing he's 24. He's amazing. I can't imagine how incredible it'll be when he's my age. And he's fun. He comes from the heart. And I teach people to do psychic readings. I'm very particular about it. He's really, really, really amazing. I highly recommend him.
Yeah, Aldo, definitely.